Felony indictment. It's under seal. Again, Manhattan DA's office. It will likely be announced formally in the coming days. This is a report right now, and it's one that we've been waiting for here at Bloomberg.
Yeah, certainly is. Wall Street Journal is also also with their announcement following on the New York Times. Yep. As they say the indictment is sealed for now. But the exact charges against Trump are unknown. But obviously all of this points back to that campaign, 2016, correct? And the hush money funds he paid to Stormy Daniels.
Absolutely. And now Bloomberg is reporting this as well, which is an opportunity to bring in Wendy Benjamin from our political team here, an editor in Washington. Wendy, this is something that we have been waiting for, although we weren't too sure when it was going to come. It appears now this is actually happening, a former president under indictment.
It's an incredibly historic moment in American history, really. But it is just in. We don't know what the charges are yet, as you said. And we were very surprised because yesterday we heard the grand jury was taking a 3-week break.
Yeah, how about
so
that?
We didn't know what happened, but I guess they came to a quick conclusion and decided to indict him. I don't think this will even slow him down from his current run. He's going to run as a victim of the Democratic deep state.
And try to capitalize
on that.
Wendy, I'm not sure if you know this yet, so bear with me, but he's indicted. He's the first former president of the United States to be indicted. What does this look like? Where is he at the moment? Does he get his fingerprints? Will there be a mugshot? Is he going to be in handcuffs?
Right. Well, as we understand, he is in Florida at his Mar-a-Lago home. He will, presumably, he got a courtesy call, or his attorneys got a courtesy call from Alvin Bragg's office. Then he will fly up. You know, he has his own plane, so he'll fly up to New York, where he will be fingerprinted, mugshot. There will not be the perp walk. As we understand it, the Secret Service was worried about safety and, shutting down Lower Manhattan for that, and the courtesy of that. He is a former president of the United States, so he will be handcuffed and fingerprinted, though, and arraigned on whatever charges the grand jury charged him on. But they are related to the hush money payments to Stormy Daniels.
They are indeed. But I'll tell you what, Donald Trump was hoping, right? He wanted the perp walk. He was reportedly talking about what he should wear, whether there should be a tie, if he'd have handcuffs, whether he should smile, Wendy. He apparently will not have the opportunity to do any of this.
He won't. It's just too hard to secure an area like Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
The courthouse is right in the middle of it.
Well, particularly when he calls on people to protest and predicts
exactly right. And that's the next thing we're going to have to watch for, whether people protest. The online chatter we were monitoring showed that people after January 6th were not as eager to go into violent protest on behalf of Donald Trump anymore, because so many of the January 6th protesters went to jail.
Of course, Anne-Marie, we had barricades going up in front of not only the courthouse, but also the U.S. Capitol just within hours of his predicting this would happen, again, some time ago. But those barricades are in place for a reason. Yeah,
they certainly are. The former president has said that he wanted people to protest. He said there's going to be death and destruction. And then he went into a rally and he made his problem, his indictment, also the issue of his supporters saying they are after me. So they are after all of us. And that's actually really, Joe, a change of his 2016 pitch to America, which was these are all the problems facing you. And now the former president wants to run again in 2024 and says these are the problems facing me, and I need your help. So this is going to make it much more complicated, though. But I still go back to that Economist YouGov poll we talked about yesterday. Most Americans do not think a presidential candidate should be paying hush money funds to a porn star, overwhelmingly. But then when you put in the name Donald Trump, Joe, that percentage certainly does drop.
I'm keeping my eyes on Truth Social here. I don't see anything yet, Wendy, but to Anne-Marie's point, this will only help to enhance the so-called retribution tour, right?
Absolutely, and his poll numbers are only going up. Ever since this became front page news again, his poll numbers have gone up. 80% of Republicans in an NPR Marist poll the other day said they believe this is a witch hunt. 80% of Republicans. So at that point, this is only going to help him.
At this point, though, Wendy, if the former president is indicted, right? He has 3 other legal challenges against him. Is this is this just the point of no return for the Republican Party? Do they say we have to move on?
Not if 80% of them believe he's being unfairly targeted. And you remember, of course, that he also it's not only there's a special counsel investigating both January 6th and his handling of classified documents. That's a federal probe. The Atlanta area district attorney is looking at his efforts to overturn the election. And then there's a number of civil suits against him for everything from E. Jean Carroll's accusation of rape to cooking the books at the Trump board. And yet the requirement to be president of the United States is that you are 35 and an American citizen. That's it.